Gloria Strode, and welcome to Straightforward. Today I am visiting with my council person and my great friend Charmaine Crabb, District 5. We are great people in District 5.
I know.
I tell you. we really work hard. Whatever we do, we always do our best. And some of my best work with you, we worked many street corners.
Yes.
But it was for a noble cause, and it was in support of the citizens. So if anyone should ever show those pictures and say, I saw them on the corner.
You did.
You saw us on the corner,
yes.
but we were there for the right reason.
We usually had signs in our hands.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, we did what we needed to do. And of course, I always share those stories with people about you and how you have been in my community walking, talking to people, and that's very important. So a lot of times people don't see the work that's being done. You know, they might just see whatever they see for meetings, but there's a lot of work that you're doing. No, actually, I
had no idea how much work.
Right, you were so naive. I actually was with you and your husband and some others on a Saturday, and we were picking up litter in District 5, and then you had some other friends you called in that was going to take it to the next level. And so those are not the things that everyone sees. You know, there's a lot of work that's not on camera, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. And when people call you, you're responsive. Every time I've ever called to text, you'll get back with me. And I always tell people this. Just because they don't answer you in the first 2 hours, because you all have some lengthy meetings sometimes, marathons, it might take the next day, but give them a chance to call you back. And I even say it about my great friend, Senator Ed Harbison, because you have a lot going on that the citizens don't always see.
And we have other jobs too.
Right, another life, right?
And
so in your other
yeah.
life, you're in real estate,
right.
Then you have a lifelong job as a wife and a mom. And a grandma, so yeah. So this is just not like full time 24/7. You do have.
It feels like it. I mean, it would be very easy to turn it into a full time job.
Right.
I could see that.
Right.
I mean, because you just can't do everything that you would like to do.
Right.
But,
well, there's so much to be done,
yeah.
and the city has grown so much.
It has.
Right. And so District 5, I know since the 2020 census. You had some changes in the maps.
Yeah.
Population shift, and for those that didn't do your census, that's why it's important. I have to always throw that in. But based on the population, trying to make sure all the districts are as equal as they could be. Mm-hmm. You shifted a little.
I did a little bit to the east, kind of the northeast a little bit, not much, maybe one subdivision or so, mm-hmm. off of Billings Road. And then I did north along all the way up to J.R. Allen over in the Stone Mill area, kind of in that area. I lost
you didn't
a little
get
bit.
The Gateway Walmart, is that not yours? That's somebody else.
That is mine.
So now that is yours.
That's mine. I go right up to Midland Commons.
Okay, to the Commons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Just right before the Commons.
Okay. So that is a shift.
Yeah, they almost gave me Midland Commons, and it's like, I can't take that from Gary. That is his baby.
Right.
And they tried to give the airport to Walker, and I said, not just no. That's my baby. The airport is
right,
my
because
baby.
they already took Katie the cow from us.
I know.
That was a serious matter. No, because if you know, it was like, okay, that's a landmark.
I get some flack for how passionate I was about them taking Katie the cow.
Well, she belonged to us.
Well,
District 5.
District 5 doesn't get many toys.
Exactly.
We've got a couple toys, but not too many.
Mm-hmm.
And I always looked at Katie as something that could be a catalyst.
Mm-hmm.
I know, catalyst. For some growth or some attraction into our area.
Right.
And so when I lost her, I was a little bit
Well, you
upset.
fought a good fight. I was watching and I thought, because we were so accustomed to riding and seeing Katie.
Yeah.
You know, you could, if you wasn't really sure, if you couldn't read, you knew where Katie was. You know, even the kids, you know. grew up with that. But yeah, you work very hard, and you're very passionate about it, and that's really what's important. You have to have a heart for the people.
You do.
You really
Yeah.
do. You really do.
You know, there's a lot that you can do, and it's kind of like being in one of those little ball cages where, you know, just balls are coming at you from every direction. And so somebody very wise and who'd been in politics for a long time told me that I should choose, you know, just a few things to you know, focus on, because then when the things are coming at you,
you can't do everything.
You can draw a line in places, and so I thought, since I'm District 5, I'm going to pick 5 things, and they're my 5 to thrive.
Okay, what's the 5 to thrive?
So I said that I'm going to continue to be a tax advocate, because you know, that's where you and I met.
Yes.
And we worked your husband Tolly and I, your husband Tolly and I were the co-chairs for the Keep the Freeze campaign.
Exactly.
And
that helped people to keep their homes, that, you know, and stability.
Can you imagine if we hadn't won? What would be happening right now?
Absolutely.
Because with the inflation, people would be losing their houses.
Yeah, and then when the people were like, well, this person pays this and whatever, I was like, but yeah, they've been living there 40 years. So they were paying when you were probably renting or wasn't even in the city. You know, and I always use this analogy.
They didn't pay as much for their house either.
No,
they didn't. I mean, why should they be paying what you know, taxes on what you paid for your house instead of what they paid for theirs? But then it was a different time, because, you know, for some of the people I know from my old neighborhood, somebody paid $8,000 for the house, but $8,000 back in 1960 was a lot of money for a widow. You know, and she still lived in that house up until she passed away here recently. And so you have to make it make sense. It's like, that's like being a soldier coming in, or a new teacher coming in. You just gotta wait until you earn that. So definitely. I was pretty proud that we were able to vote a millage rate reduction this year. I don't think that has been done in 20 some years. I don't know the exact, but there had been some people on council for at least 20 years, and they had never voted in a millage rate.
Exactly, and he was like, no, we have it here, so why are we gonna do that? We shouldn't have to do that. Let's take care of our citizens and give them a break. And so you're always advocating for that, and you even spent time in our church fellowship hall helping people with paperwork for the Keep the Freeze. I mean, you really did.
Well, the tax appeal that happened that year after the freeze, they messed up on the taxes. We will say the tax fiasco. But that's when I decided to run.
I know. You know, because you was like, I got to get in there and do something. That's what you said. Well, what we're going to do is go to our first break, and we'll be right back, because we always have a good time when we visit. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front lines for veterans every day. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road. Trusted by generations. Whole Patient Healthcare. Dr. Jada Rimes-Bacote is board certified in family medicine. She believes the best patient care includes practical, individualized lifestyle changes. Located at 1338 13th Avenue, Columbus, 706-641-2080, or visit wholepatienthealthcare.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this fantastic conversation with my councilwoman, Charmaine Crabb, and my friend. We've worked many corners together, and that is our claim to fame. So on behalf of the people, and so for everyone that was able to stay in their homes and manage it and all of that, then, you know, that's what it was all about. It was for the people. So 5 things in District 5.
So the second thing was I wanted to be a good steward of the citizens' tax dollars. we're talking about collecting taxes and being a tax, but the reality is, we need to collect taxes to pay for the services.
Right.
So, but they should go to the right places, and so I try and ask a lot of questions, and I want them to go to areas that service everybody.
Right.
So, that's where they should go first, like the main focus.
Right.
So, law enforcement, streets.
That's going to benefit everybody, and not pet projects.
Right. So, that's law enforcement. Everybody, that should be our number one
first
priority.
Yes.
And then, like keeping the streets taken care of, no potholes, keeping the right-of-ways clean, because this serves our citizens, but it also makes us look good to people that it draws businesses in.
It does. And we have a lot of visitors that come to Fort Moore. We graduate soldiers every week. People come here for training and things like that out at Fort Moore. So we have people at any given day. If you go to the gate at Fort Benning, you got people from all over the country. Right. And so it's important when you come through the gateway that it looks good, that it's kept, that we don't have litter. Because you and I both, and of course you're from a different part, Big Sky Country and all of that. But it's nothing worse than going to a city and it's just dirty.
Exactly, and so that's my third thing was, to keep a good city infrastructure, to keep it maintained.
Right.
I mean, should we get into the
but those are things that's important. That's like, buying a new house and just running it down is whatever you buy, you need to take care of it.
And I didn't realize that I would be in office when we move into a new city hall.
Right.
We're doing a judicial building.
Right.
We're doing a jail. We've got a lot of new infrastructure coming, and we have got to create a system of maintenance, a proactive approach to maintaining these new buildings, because everybody should go into the new city hall and see how beautiful it is. It is. But it has some beautiful woodwork and floors and everything.
But you have to keep it clean.
It has to be maintained.
Yes.
It has to
Buying a new house and never cleaning up, it's gonna put you in the same thing.
Exactly.
Right.
So we have been blessed to be able to get that building for our city hall. I know a lot of people complain about it, but that was a blessing. That saved us millions and millions of dollars than building new. So it was a blessing, and we need to maintain that.
Yes, we do.
And
that's like buying a new car and never getting the oil changed and never changing the tires. Eventually, it's just going to break down, and then you're going to still have a car note. I'm just saying.
And so, I'm in property management, and so, I
in your
know
other
about
life, you're a realtor.
Yeah, and so, you change the filters in the
air conditioning. Right.
You
have to have
take
care.
You take care of that leak in that faucet immediately.
Right.
So you don't have a high water bill.
Exactly.
There's just these are just practical, logical things that we
common
need to
sense.
do. Common sense.
Yes.
So,
okay.
And one of those things, I'm going to talk to the camera for a minute here, because I want to talk to people. This is kind of my big thing. When people call me and they say, there's a tree limb over here, or there's trash in somebody's yard there, I tell people to go to the Columbus 311 app. And if you have not downloaded that app, download that app. It is wonderful. As I'm driving around the city, I will take a picture of what I'm seeing and I'll put it in the app, and they tend to get taken care of faster, like especially when it's garbage in somebody's yard or something, because they see the size of truck they need to bring.
Okay. It gives them a visual.
It makes the city work more efficient. We're not everywhere. We can't do it without you. So I ask you, help us that way.
Well, the people that's technology proficient, because we have some older
That's true.
citizens.
That's true.
That they're not that technology proficient, and they
And
can
those
still
those
call
people
311.
can call me, and I'll put it in the
Right.
app. I'll go over there, take the picture, and put it in the app, or
right.
call 311. But that app, I think there's a little tweaks that need to be done to it.
Right.
But it is a really neat piece of technology.
And it's helping to get the work taken care of.
Mhm,
And I
it
think
is.
that's very important, because
We
got
can't
some,
do it without the citizens'
right.
help.
And then Columbus has grown,
It has.
and it's continuing to grow.
And see, that's another way that we can use our tax dollars more efficiently.
Mhm.
Because if we have to go and search for the needle in the haystack,
Right.
it's not gonna get done as quickly.
Mhm.
It's just not as efficient.
Mhm.
But if a citizen sees it, because it's in their neighborhood,
Right.
and reports it to us, it's gonna get taken care of a lot faster.
Okay.
And it'll save the city money, because we
Right.
can go directly to the problem instead of going up and down streets looking
Trying
for
to
the
figure
problem.
it out and where it
Mhm.
is. And I've seen a gentleman that comes and he gives a report, and he's been doing it for a long time. He's on the south side of town off of Casita Road, and he shows up on the public agenda and tell council what they need to do. And he's a very nice gentleman.
Yeah,
But he
we
cares
love
about
him.
he
Yeah.
cares about his community.
He is so passionate.
Exactly, but he's doing it the right way. He's calling it to folks' attention, and that way, and you all have been very kind and responsive to him. So that lets you know I'm always watching. I'm always watching. No, but
Yes,
really.
that's what keeps me in line. Because I know Gloria's watching,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get a phone call afterwards.
Right, or a text. You're gonna get a text. But no, I just really admire him for that, and he'll say, well, there used to be dumpster there, da 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 da. So everybody can do that, because this is home for all of us.
He's come up with some really good ideas.
Mhm.
He had the idea, his name's Mr. Veals, Timothy Veals.
Mhm.
He came up with the idea for us to get out and just do a Saturday where we all go around
and just check
and
everything out.
pick things up and get a group together.
See, that's
So,
wisdom. He's lived long enough, and he loves the community.
He's
Well, what we're
passionate.
gonna do is take a break, go to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. The Miley Agency, 4903 Armour Road. Gerald L. Miley and William Rip Singer have been providing comprehensive reviews and insuring families in Georgia and Alabama for more than 50 years. The Miley Agency will work non-stop to find you the best policy at the best price. You can rest assured that your information is secure, confidential, and protected. Call today at 706-996-2045. Adjuster Source 101. Sign up today for the Insurance Claims Adjuster virtual course. The All Lines license allows an adjuster to work claims in residential, commercial, inland marine, ocean marine, and workers' comp, Georgia property and casualty, Alabama property and casualty, and additional states. For more information, call 470-724-1050 or info@adjustersource101.com. The Columbus Memory Center, 7196 North Lake Drive, Suite A, Columbus. Dr. Jonathan Liss is a board-certified neurologist and sleep specialist committed to battling Alzheimer's by preserving independence, offering you the opportunity to get your memory number for free, the only vital sign for brain health. Call today at 706-327-4000 or visit columbusmemorycenter.com. And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing this wonderful visit with my councilwoman, Charmaine Crabb, and my great friend that's doing it good for the neighborhood. I know she's out in the community because I have walked my community with her and other communities with her, and picking up trash, talking to people, going in the house, getting a tour of our Marine friend and all of his awards.
Oh my gosh.
He has them everywhere.
That was so emotional for me.
Yeah.
I mean, just to see.
And that was really risky that we went in his house, because he's a nice gentleman, but we didn't know. But he wanted you to come in and see, and we went in and he showed you all of his different military awards, and he was very proud of that.
Yeah,
and
he
so
was
that's
so
what
proud.
it's about when you represent people.
Yeah.
But again, that's not the part people see. So that's why I like to share that,
Okay.
you know, because you are accessible and you are grounded and you are down to earth. Now, we might not agree on everything, but we're not supposed to. That's
Right.
an unrealistic expectation.
Don't you think that that's kind of what makes our friendship? I mean,
Exactly.
I mean, we have some really good conversations.
Yes.
And
We agree on what we agree on and we disagree on what we disagree on, but it doesn't make us disagreeable.
Exactly. I
Right.
think it's kind of unconditional love.
Well,
I mean,
and that's
we
what
just-
it should be, real
Yeah,
though, in
I think so.
relationships, because I don't always agree with Tolly, and you don't always agree with Tim,
No.
or the children, you know,
especially the
children, right? Okay, so we got to 1, 2, 3,
Two-
and you got
two
4
more
and 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I support law enforcement, every agency,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, I wanted, and that kind of ties into fighting crime.
Right, so that's
And-
4 and 5.
Yeah,
Or your-
so that's 4 and 5,
Mhm.
because I really think that supporting law enforcement kind of just covers all 5 of them, really.
It really
But,
does. Mhm.
But I asked Deputy Chief Kennedy to pull up the stats for the criminal activity in District 5.
Mhm.
And 2 things really, I mean, look at this. Can I'm gonna just hold it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna just hold it up. You can see how there's 2 things that are just really out of kilter.
Right.
And then the rest we're doing pretty good.
Good.
But I want to talk a little bit about the first 2. The first one is entering autos, and then this number 2 is shoplifting under $500. Then there's theft by taking and theft of automobile over $1,500. Those are the top 4. And I asked Chief Kennedy, it's like, what can I tell the citizens that actions that they can be taking to get that number down?
Exactly.
And she says it's really, really simple and very common
sense.
Is you don't leave valuables in your car overnight.
Exactly.
Or when you go to the grocery store or you're going out. Don't leave valuables in there.
No.
And
Don't leave the doors unlocked.
and that was the second one.
You'd be
And lock
surprised.
your doors. Because they'll come through and they'll just do the handle.
Right.
And if it's locked, they'll just keep on moving on.
Exactly. Or it'll set the alarm off.
Right.
Right. But if it's open, that just makes them want to go in and ramble.
And those are 2 really simple things that citizens can do to protect their properties and, you know, and lower that crime rate.
Well, and I see even in some of the stores, you will see the folks' bags on the seat. And I'm like, really? Why do you leave that? That's tempting.
Well, what I do I have a crossbody now, but when I used to carry a bigger purse, I used to take the seat belt from that they use for the kids.
Right.
And I used to put my purse handle through that, because if they went to grab my purse,
Right.
it'd get caught. They wouldn't be
Wouldn't
able to take it anymore.
Right, right.
But I've caught myself, you know, looking at, you know,
Yeah.
a jar of mayonnaise,
but let me
and
just-
it's like my purse is sitting right there, and you
Right,
just,
and you
it's
just
like,
walk away, even and we saw this in some video, even in the department store. You walking over here looking and somebody just walk past, you see that all the time on
Yeah.
social media, just take your thing. And of course, I've been chastised about that with certain people.
no.
Yes. That's why I didn't want the big purse anymore, because you can't shop with the real big purse.
Well, when
You
I
need to have one like
yeah.
your crossbody.
yeah,
Those are simple
I
things.
started doing that when I had grandkids.
Oh,
Well, when my daughter-in-law had grandkids, because I caught myself a couple times, you know,
Right.
where you're doing something with your grandkids and your
distracted.
purse is over here.
yeah, you're distracted.
And it's like, ooh, God, I gotta do something about that.
But District 5, if our biggest thing is automobile break-ins and theft and that kind of thing, I'm not happy that we have that, but I am grateful that it's not aggravated assault, murder.
yeah,
And we
those are-
have that in
we
the
do
county.
we do
But
have some
I'm
of
just
that, but
thankful
it's,
that, because we are a lot of older military people in our subdivision, which you walk there and you've been there for National Night Out when we used to have that before you were ever elected. I know, I
We
want
still
people to
have
know
it.
that. Yeah, but now this time you had it at one location, it didn't go to every
yeah,
subdivision.
since,
like the old
since,
days.
since COVID,
It's
it
been
kind of
different.
changed things.
No, but I just wanted to say, you attended those even when you were not elected.
I did, you know, I announced my candidacy
At
at
a
yours,
national-
at a national
I
night out
know.
in your
In my
subdivision.
subdivision, right.
That's right.
So if people want to reach you, they got some concerns, how can they reach you?
You can, probably the best way to reach me is by my phone, 706-392-6116. And if I don't answer, leave a message, or you can text there. It's always good to leave your name and your address, or the address that you're calling about, just so that if I'm out and about, because I do go out and about a lot, I can just swing by and see what you're talking about.
Right.
But I will call you back. Sometimes I get kind of busy and I can't do it right away, but I will call you back, or I will text you back. Just be patient with me.
Okay, and so, you are Charmaine Crabb, District 5, our city councilwoman, and your government email is what?
Crab, it's crab.charmaine@columbusga.org.
And then we have city council meetings every second and fourth Tuesday.
The second is at 9 o'clock in the morning. The
Fourth
is 5:30, and then if there's 5 Tuesdays in a month, we will have a work session,
Okay,
and citizens can come to that too.
okay. So we've told them how they can reach you. I want to thank you for working hard. We're going to keep our eyes on everything as Columbus grow and prosper, and we're going to do our part to get the crime down. And I thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, I
All
appreciate
right.
it.
This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.
What up, world? What's up, Columbus? Be sure to tune in every Sunday, Straightforward with Gloria Strode, right here on NBC 38.